I forget all names. He's that guy that I think he's a
Rahm Emanuel.
Robert Emanuel. Wasn't part? He's a. I think he's a what? Mulatto? Or
What?
is he white? Black?
He's Jewish.
He's Jewish? Ah, bum.
He's got two brothers. One is a doctor who is very influential in the medical field. Brother's name, I believe, is Ezekiel. But then, you remember, and then he's got one brother who is a movie agent in Hollywood. You remember that show that was on Entourage?
Nah.
Well, Entourage was, I forgot his first name, but Privin, he plays the part of Rahm Emanuel's brother. He's...
Well, either way, he should... I mean, it would appear that the reason the problems is because of political and electioneering, electioneering. Nobody brought out a lot of the violence that was going on. The violence against...
well, no, they've known about it. It's like the violence in Baltimore. But now it's the whole thing that brought it to the forefront was the fact that this officer, shot an unarmed boy 16 times for no apparent reason.
That's what I'm talking about, and everybody closed their eyes to the...
Well, what happened was, they asked for the resignation of the civilian in charge of the organization who investigates, police crime, and they asked for the resignation of the police commissioner,
which he did.
But the bottom line is that now they're asking for his resignation, and he's stalling. For
which one?
Rahm Emanuel is stalling.
Well, firstly, he's not going to resign that easy.
No, he won't. Only if it.
I think what he's going to say proved that I hit anything, that I was, that I knew anything about it.
Well, you're talking about Chicago, where Rob Blagojevich, back in 2008, was caught on tape trying to sell Barack Obama's Senate seat. Okay? I mean, Chicago has a history going even before Mayor Daley, going back to the times of Prohibition. Yeah. And, Al Capone.
Well, also in New York today, somebody got convicted of embezzlement.
No, you're talking about
state senator.
You're talking about Skilos, Dean Skilos in Nassau County, and his son, who had a no-show job and was drawing a salary, and then you have Sheldon Silver in Brooklyn.
Silver happened before. This just happened today with Skilos.
Sheldon Silver, faces upwards of 30 years in prison for what he's done.
But upon appeal, he will be vindicated. That's what he says.
They all say that.
I know that.
And let's face it, the kind of prison that these guys go to, it's glorified country clubs.
We don't know that. We all say, but I don't think there's such a thing.
Well, they're not going to a Supermax, that's for sure.
Nah. But they should put him in for a month or two in a Supermax just to show him what it's like. Why should they give him a country club?
Because that's usually what they do for white-collar crime. And it is a white-collar crime. Technically, nobody got physically hurt from it. They were lining their pockets along with other people's pockets.
Yeah, well, doesn't make it any better or worse. Because at least when a petty thief steals something, it's usually because he has no money at all. And he'll go to jail. These guys already have money, and they're just being greedy.
Well, think of, the Les Miserables. Jean Valjean stole a loaf of bread because his family was hungry. And Inspector Javert chases him throughout France, okay, to put him back in prison, all for stealing a loaf of bread. You know, in fact, Jean Valjean changes his name, becomes the mayor of a city, does all kinds of good things, and there's Javert again, ready to throw him in jail. It's almost like The Fugitive, you know? I mean, there are a lot of different versions, you know, of the same story. You know, I used to pose, you know, questions to my students on, you know, ethics and morality. You know, morality. I used to throw a problem at them, and I said, if somebody is caught stealing bread because his family is hungry, should he be punished? What should his punishment be? You know, and then we would discuss it as a moral dilemma. You know, he wasn't doing it to resell the bread and make money. He stole the bread because his family had nothing to eat.
Well, that's been a moral dilemma for as long as we know. There's enough food in the world to feed every person in the world. There should be no starvation.
Well, and especially in this country where we throw away almost as much as we consume.
And we consume way too much. That's obvious by me and you and most of the population.
Well, no, it's not that we consume too much. It's that we have much more than we need.
And you don't think we also consume too much?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
The point is that, you know, like I said to you on this show many times before, when I was a camp counselor, and we would have a trip in the city, and they would give us sandwiches, you know, peanut butter and dead jelly, cheese sandwiches, and the kids would get cookies and milk, whatever. Anything that they didn't eat, you know, technically it has to be thrown out.
Yes.
Okay? And what I used to do was take all the leftovers, and I would find somebody who's homeless, and I would take
poison him.
And I would take the box over and give him or her the box of sandwiches and the containers of milk and cookies, and they couldn't thank me enough. Because let's face it, you know, they're not allowed, you can't bring it back to camp, they're not allowed to sell it, it's got to be thrown out. You know, it's like the charity group in New York Harvest, where restaurants take food that they have left over, okay, and they give it to soup kitchens, or they bring it to people's homes, you know.
Yeah. But what you were doing was probably illegal, technically.
Technically, yes, but who's gonna prosecute me?
Same guy who went after the guy that stole the bread.
Probably.
You know, some people believe the law is the law is the law, and that's the end of it. You know, and ask Chad what he would do.
Well, he's not on, so I don't know. He said he would call back.
Okay, well, hopefully he will.
Are we getting Elisa on tonight or no?
Well, I do have a couple of iPlug songs I'd like her to hear and comment on.
She's got to do her job.
You know,
she's our music critic.
Hey, listen,
you treat her better than you treat me. I'm your lackey.
Lackey. Well, you see what I told her? Senior now. She's a senior like you now.
Oh, I told her that already. I said, you got a promotion. I said, the only consolation to our promotions is the fact that we make as much as the boss does.
Well, your new title now is, what did I say it was? Internet Senior. Not Internet
Senior Internet
Intern Senior. Senior. Class number 1. Class number 2. Class number 3. You're number 2. She's number 1. She's got to work her way up.
No, number 1 is usually the highest.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, one strike, two
You,
strike, three
detective
strike.
3rd grade, detective 2nd grade, detective 1st grade.
Okay, we got a detective some grade giving us a call. And good evening.
Hello.
And how's
Hey.
your voice?
What?
How is your voice?
It comes and goes.
Sound like you're falling asleep.
I actually was sleeping.
So,
Well, I mean, you can take a night off. It's okay. The boss will let you do that. He's going to have to deduct from your salary, though. I have to tell you.
100%.
This is going to cost you.
That's why I called in. I at least get half the day.
You couldn't afford the loss in pay, huh?
No,
That's what it is.
it's Christmas time.
Did you hear my Christmas songs? Then they broke up there for a second.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? That's why I texted you and said that.
Yeah, no, I realized it. Then I texted Mark to go back on, not you. Then I finally texted you to go back on. Yeah, I realized why right away. If you're really not...
Only lost like.
Well, the reason the songs went off the air was Felix threatened to sing. And,
Everybody shook.
yeah, that's right. People were up in arms. You should have seen our phones lit up here.
Yeah.
Don't let them do it.
And then they hung up on me. The minute I didn't sing, everybody
That's right.
hung up.
They figured you got the message.
Phone calls. But at least it's one way of getting callers.
Yeah. That's true.
Are you insinuating that nobody calls up our show?
No, I don't mean it like that.
Okay.
The boss could never afford our salaries if we keep talking like that, you know?
That's true.
I know that.
Okay, well, you want to
Actually,
you want to listen to Weedy Dave?
what?
Who?
Weedy Dave? W-E-E-D-Y Dave?
Weenie Dave?
Weedy!
Not Weenie?
No, not Weedy. Weedy.
Weedy.
E-E-D-Y
Weedy.
Dave.
Like somebody who...
Wait
Oh, we
a
got
sec.
another caller.
We got a full house here. Is this Weedy? Weedy, are you on? Weedy hung up on us again.
I don't know. Who was it anyway?
Same Weedy as before.
Really?
585 area code.
I'm surprised.
All right, let's go listen to Weedy Dave. We can always get back on. The name of the song is Alone.
You keep treating me the way you do, and you will be alone.
From the United Kingdom.
Yeah, I know how I feel. It's real. Anyway, I was talking inside my mind, trying to come back down with a new rhyme. Feeling the sound in my mind, it's my time. Maybe I could come back down with a rhyme. Easy on my flow, you know how I go. Frank be telling me I'm the one, you know. Everybody say what they say anyway, but I don't know how I rhyme in that summer day. Even on the flow, in my track, in my mind, I be thinking to myself, smoking another woodbine in the flows of the day. Everybody talking about the realigning, what I say, aka Weedy Dave on the mic, and I'm feeling.
I gotta say one thing, boss.
Yeah.
Bring back Hip Hop Christmas.
I don't even see anymore what be going on. I'm confused with my life, what's going on. I don't even know anymore what I can do. Everybody looking at me like I'm a fool. I don't even see anymore any reason, any season. Give me a reason. Everybody wanna be, everybody wanna rhyme, shining to see. But I find myself, I'm back on my flow. Come back down with a sound that can grow. But I'm depressed in my mind. I can't understand why I'm always alone in my mind. Alone in my mind, and I'm feeling the time. Are you alone? You feel me, right? Anyway, I come back down with my rhyme, realigning with the sound in my mind. Rat-a-tat-tat with the chat. Weedy on the mic, and you know I'm coming back. If you hear my rhyming, realigning with the sound, then you know that lyric about the timing. Easy easy on my track, come along like that. We on the mic, giving you love, been like that. Looking at my lady, she been looking at me.